Hi everyone, welcome to Professor A's podcast, the show where we simplify and clarify topics about business and feasibility study, especially for students. I'm your host, Professor A, and this is episode 2 of the Feasibility Study for Student podcast. Today we'll be discussing one of the most critical parts of your feasibility study, the survey questionnaire. Whether you're new to this or just need a refresher, this episode will guide you on how to create effective survey questions. Are you ready? So let's start. So, what exactly is a survey questionnaire and why is it important in a feasibility study? Well, it's a tool that helps you gather data directly from your target market. Surveys help us understand customer preferences, buying behaviors, and other crucial information we need to determine if a business idea is feasible. It's a critical part of your market feasibility section of your study. For example, if you're planning to start a coffee shop, you'd want to know things like how often people buy coffee, how much they're willing to spend, or what types of coffee they prefer. This is where the survey questionnaires comes in. Now, let's talk about the key elements of a good survey questionnaire. And here are a few principles you should know. Number 1, it must be clear and simple language. Make sure your questions are easy to understand. Avoid using complex word or business jargon. For example, instead of saying buying frequency, you can ask how often do you buy coffee in a week. Number 2, one idea per question. Each question should focus on one thing. Don't combine two questions into one sentence. For example, don't ask, do you like drinking coffee and how much are you willing to spend? Instead, break it down into two separate questions. Number 3, balance options. If you're using multiple choice questions, provide a range of options. For instance, let's use the buying frequency question or the question, how often do you buy or do you visit? So the choices can be once a day, twice a week, once a month, or never. Remember that each of these choices for the buying frequency have frequency equivalent. So if you are unfamiliar with this topic, I suggest you visit my YouTube channel and watch the video about buying frequency. I will post the link in this podcast. Now, let's dive into the crucial part of the feasibility study, survey questions. These questions are super important because they help us get to know what our potential customers want and need. So, if you're working on your own feasibility study, grab a pen and take notes. Let's go through a few key questions you might want to include in your survey questionnaire. First up, brand awareness. This is basically just finding out if people know about coffee products being sold near the area where you want to establish your business. You can ask something simple like, are you aware of coffee shops selling coffee products in your area? Keep it straightforward, and remember, we just want a yes or no answer here. Next up is user status. This is where we figure out if people are currently using coffee products from shops around the area. You could ask something like, do you purchase coffee products from local shops in your area? Again, a simple yes or no will do. If they say yes, then it's awesome. If not, that's still a valuable information to have. It helps you understand your potential market better. Now, let's move on to consumer preferences. This part is all about understanding what people prioritize when choosing a coffee product. You could ask something like, which factors are most important to you when deciding on a coffee product? Is it the flavor, the price, or maybe the packaging? Or perhaps they prefer organic ingredients. Make sure to give them a few options to choose from so you get a clearer picture of what really matters to them. After that, we move on to product or service preference. This is where you dig deeper to find out what type of coffee your potential customers enjoy. You could ask something like, what type of coffee product do you usually prefer? The choices can be instant coffee, brewed coffee, espresso, or maybe something else. Knowing their specific preferences can really help you tailor your product offering to match what they're looking for. Next up is brand preference. This question helps you identify your competitor in the coffee market. You could ask, what other coffee brands have you tried in the past 6 months? The choices can be the names of your competitors. Understanding what's already out there gives you valuable insights into what you're up against and can help you differentiate your own brand. Now let's talk about buying frequency. This question is crucial because it helps you estimate the demand for your coffee products. You might ask, how often do you purchase coffee products? The possible choices are daily, weekly, monthly, or never. The more you understand their buying habits, the better you can forecast your sales and plan your inventory. Next, we have buying power. This question helps you gauge how much your potential customers are willing to spend on coffee products. You could ask, how much are you willing to spend on coffee products per purchase? Then you provide price ranges like below 50, 50 to 100, 100 to 200, and so on. Can give you valuable insights. This information will help you position your product effectively in the market. Next, let's discuss technographics. This question helps us understand which platform people prefer when buying coffee, whether it's in-store, online, through food delivery apps, or even social media. Knowing where your customers like to shop allows you to tailor your marketing strategy to reach them effectively. Now let's look at payment method. You want to find out what payment options your customer prefer. You could ask, which payment method do you typically use when buying coffee? And the choices can be cash, card, digital wallets like GCash, or perhaps a buy now, pay later option. This is all about ensuring a convenient buying experience for your customers. Finally, we come to the big question, the buying intention. This is where you want to gauge their interest in your potential business. You could ask, if we were to open a similar business and similar products, would you be willing to visit us and make a purchase? A simple yes or no will do. This question will help you determine whether your business idea has the potential to translate interest into actual sales. So, those are some essential survey questions to include in your feasibility study questionnaire. Remember, keep it simple, make your question clear, and focus on getting the information that help you make better business decisions. Moving on to the next topic, let's talk about common mistakes to avoid when creating a survey. Number 1, leading questions. Avoid questions that steer respondents toward a specific answer. For example, instead of asking, do you think our coffee shop has better service than others? Try keeping it neutral with, how would you rate the service of our coffee shop compared to others? This way, you get honest feedback without bias. Number 2, too many questions. Don't overwhelm your respondents with a long list of questions. Aim to keep your survey short and focused. Around 10 to 15 questions is ideal, especially if you're gathering basic preferences. If the survey feels too lengthy, participants may lose interest and drop out before finishing. Number 3, irrelevant questions. Ensure that every question is directly related to your study objectives. For instance, if your feasibility study is about coffee shop, there's no need to ask about personal hobbies or unrelated topics. Staying on point keeps your data relevant and useful. Finally, here are a few tips to make your survey more effective. Number 1, test your survey. Before sending it out to a wider audience, test it with a small group first. This helps you identify any confusing questions or determine if it takes too long to complete. A little testing go a long way in improving clarity. Number 2, use online survey tools. Creating and distributing surveys is easier than ever with online tools like Google Forms, SurveyMonkey, or Typeform. These platforms are user-friendly and allow you to collect responses in real time, making your survey process smooth and efficient. Number 3, interpret the data carefully. Once you gather your results, Take the time to analyze the data thoroughly. Don't just focus on the answer you want to hear. Approach the responses objectively and consider all the feedback to gain a comprehensive understanding on your potential market. And that's a wrap for episode 2, mga ka-FS. I hope you now have a clear understanding on how to create an effective survey questionnaire for your feasibility study. Remember, surveys are powerful tools when done correctly and analyzed thoroughly. If you found this episode helpful, don't forget to share it with your classmates and make sure to hit that follow button so you'll be updated on future episodes. If you have any questions, feel free to message me on the FS Student Group page on Facebook. Once again, this is Professor A, and until next time, remember, planning is everything. Maraming salamat at ingat kayo.